This is an introduction to our ancient astrological course, which you can download on our website. What I will be doing here is giving you a deep introduction of how your birth chart is materializing on Earth. Now, this breaks down the ancient system of how astrology is used. Modern astrology, which most Western practitioners practice, is based upon the seasons, so it's not accurate in terms of the actual time of how heaven is manifesting. So what I'm going to do here is give you a deeper layer or a format that will help you to envision your birth chart deeper than what is given to you when you look into your birth chart. Most people are familiar with a birth chart which gives you planets, signs, and aspects, which are important. However, what we're going to do here, we're going to introduce you to having more than one birth chart, which is equal to you, and showing you how it materializes on Earth. So let us begin within this introduction course that you can download on the website, which you will find at the top or at the bottom. Now, to first begin with, we will now look at the essence of a birth chart. So the birth chart has 12 zodiac signs, planets, and aspects. So these are three forms and three aspects of things that one needs to first understand. So we won't go into the deeper details yet, but we'll go into the many different birth charts that are in your chart for you to understand who you are. The first main birth chart, which everyone is familiar with, whether it's Western astrology or Vedic or whichever system that you use, you have a birth chart. And your birth chart is your karma. So the symbol for Earth is a circle and a cross. So the birth chart represents your karma, what you're able to do. So it represents the physical world. Now you have a jhana chart. This is not known to a lot of the Western astrologers and those who practice Western astrology, but the jhana chart represents your emotion. How are you feeling these emotions? So sometimes you may not understand your birth chart because you're thinking, hold on, this does not make sense. So the jhana chart shows how you are emotionally reacting and how you are feeling. And so, in other words, this actually allows you to really feel and understand what you're feeling. The main birth chart, which is karma, is only showing you what the world is seeing of you and how you think you're seeing, how the world is seeing it, but how you feel about it is only seen in the jhana chart. So you can see it in the karma chart, which is the main birth chart, but the jhana chart shows you how you're feeling it. Now finally, the main importance is the observer. The observer is who you are. The observer is your essence. The observer is the energy which you have been taken throughout many incarnations. And the observer has the potential to tune in the energy and bring it into the birth chart. And so these three charts are the core essence of reading a birth chart. This represents the mental plane. The mental plane represents the mind in its purest form to create a thought. So this represents the observer. The mental plane has the capacity to bring in new beliefs. So the mind is so instilled in that area where the mind, from a thinking and observing point of view, is brought into fruition. So this birth chart is going to go deeper into how you feel in terms of your mind to bring those fruits into action. The jhana chart, which is the moon chart, represents your astral body. So this was the mental body, the astral body, the mental body. The mental body is about thinking through beliefs. The astral body deals more with the emotions that are felt. How are you truly feeling about everything? How are you responding is the true essence of the astral body. How are you responding to your environment? And how are you feeling internally is how the astral birth chart is read, the jhana chart. And then finally, the physical body, the actual physical body where everything is felt, how you interact with people, the color that you are, why certain people respond to you in a certain way, and when are you due to receive what you're meant to receive in life. So the overall birth chart is the karma chart. So you can read a birth chart just by knowing your main birth chart, which is called the karma chart. And that is your karma on earth. It's what you've brought, and is also the chart which makes you realize your true potential. Okay, so this is very important, the karma chart, because if you've been messing around in many other lives, you are not going to have the potential of the observer, which is the inner you, which has the inner power. And so the karma chart cannot materialize those higher qualities. And so you may struggle in this life, though you may be extremely talented, you may struggle to bring things into fruits because that is not giving a good signal to your karma. And so your response, how you feel emotionally, will feel distracted by it. However, if your karma is good and you've made the right actions, then the observer will work well with your karma. Thus, your emotions are going to respond very clearly to your experience in life. And so these are the keys to understanding parts of who you are. The observer, which entitles your inner beliefs, your true essence, your mind. How is it functioning from a mental perspective? How clear is it? How peaceful is it? And then the jhana, how emotionally connected are you? How are you responding? And finally, your karma, what is actually happening? What is the physical plane or the physical existence giving you? These are the three keys and the three layers which generate who you are. The next essence is the journey of karma. The journey of your karma is the most important faculty when looking at a birth chart. And we will go into deeper details into how this works when we begin to look into your birth chart. Now, the journey of the karma starts with the rising sign. In astrology, the rising sign represents the time when the sun was rising. But what sign was it rising when you was born? And what time was you born? So the time that you're born gives you a rising sign. And that rising sign is where your guardian angel stands. Your guardian angel speaks to you through your rising sign, which is known also as your ascendant. So this is all based upon the karma chart, which is the main birth chart. The rising sign gives birth to how you will journey and how you will accomplish your karma. How will you get on with life? The people that you will meet, the area that your life will be focused into is going to be the journey of your karma. So the rising sign, the sign that rises, is going to be what you will be accomplishing based upon the planets that governs the rising sign. So let me give you an example before we actually go deeper into this breakdown. The first example we can use is the sun. When we think of the sun is governed by Leo. Leo would be the rising sign. The sun will be the planet which governs Leo. So what we need to do is see how the sun in your main birth chart is playing out. This will give us the deeper understanding of your guardian angel, which stands on the threshold of your rising sign. And then it will show us how your sun sign is materializing its journey in this life and what it needs to fulfill its destiny, which is the most vital point of the birth chart. Now, the birth chart or the karma chart is actually the doorway to the matrix. So you are literally entering a door and you are about to see how the world will present itself to you. And then you are about to take on the journey. So it's like having your sat nav switched on, and as soon as you press start, you are on the journey. So you're coming out of your matrix. You're entering the world. So this is how the journey of the karma is then reflected onto karma. Okay, this is the journey of your destiny, of your main birth chart. For all those who follow Western astrology, it will make more sense when you go into Vedic and see how your journey is how your journey unfolds. So now, once we understand the journey and the planet which connects to the sign, we then move into the planetary placements. Where are the planets placed in your chart? How are they positioned? What is it that you are going to learn with the planets? What are the gains that you're going to bring? And what are the benefits that you are also going to bring? So the essence of the planetary placements will tell you more about the journey of your karma. And then finally, the house placements will show you where it's happening. Where is it happening in your life? Where are these planets showing up? And this will give a deeper understanding of who you are. So, going back, the observer, the astral body, the physical body. When you align all of these three together, the observer will have also a journey. The emotion will also have a journey. And the karma will also have a journey. So each of these birth charts are showing how your three vehicles are being activated. So when you can understand that you have three vehicles, you can better function in the reality that you live in. So your first vehicle, which is your prime essence that you're seeing right now, constantly observing it, is your physical body. That body eventually dies after a certain amount of years. However, the astral body still functions. So that means that though this birth chart will subside or die out, you are living into the jhana body, the astral body, the jhana chart. So this will be you still living. So technically, when you move on to the next plane, you can still utilize this chart. meaning that you can pass on and still live and understand how this chart functions from an emotional or an astral point of view. Now, the observer is the higher side of you, so it's your potential. In astrology, this is known as the signal, how you are feeling and or seeing every possibility that is bringing you into this life and how you can maneuver through each of these possibilities. Now, the signal is known to be felt when one gets married or when one has found the right relationship, because the relationship that you have with your partner is the one that you are more instilled with, and therefore means it shapes your matrix. It shapes your reality. Your matrix is the perception of you coming to birth, and it's the world that you believe in. And so your relationships is very important. So therefore mean your belief system is your D9. And it's in astrology, in the ancient Vedic system, it's known as the house of God, the house of realization, the house of understanding and realizing who you are. And that realization is known to the observer as the self, which follows through the mental body. So, as your physical body dies, you move into the astral body. As your astral body dies, you move into your mental body, your signal. And in the Vedic system is known as the D9. And this is where we begin to unfold our journey and how we come back into this life in various forms with various karmas to adjust to. So this is all based upon how we react in the jhana and the observer. And then the physical birth chart shows us how and why these psychological themes are occurring. This is why Western astrologers connect very well with the Western chart. Psychologically, they're trying to work out something in the future. But deeply, they are not looking at what took place. And if you are going to study astrology, you have to study the sun. The sun is the prime essence of everything. And the sun governs the observer, which is consciousness. The moon governs the mind, the emotional mind. And the karma is the physical imprints that are placed for you to get on with what has taken place from the heavens. So really, all we can do is live in these realms. When we understand these realms, we can understand why we're here, why you are mixed with certain people, why this and that happened. We have to learn these two first before we can get to the clarity of here. And the prime essence of this is understanding how your moon chart and how your D9 is operating. How is it functioning? So what we're going to do in the next segment of this course, we are going to go deeper into the journey of the karma, the planetary placement, the house placements, and how it all fits in together. How other things give off certain emotional reactive elements and how we are thinking along our journey. Our journey is always being affected. And within the birth chart, we have 12 important charts which connects to our physical makeup. But the main keys are linked to these, the 3 birth charts. Okay, so let me go a little bit deeper so then you can get a deeper understanding of where I'm going with this. Your main birth chart is your main key. and we'll be opening the main birth chart in the first video of the course. When you download the course, you'll be able to see how your chart looks and how your other charts are going to look. The course comes with a software which you'll be able to identify your birth chart and look into how those elements are being affected in your life. The first birth chart, which is the karma chart, is going to be the prime or the first or the essence of where everything is manifesting. So in astrology, what we find is that the first birth chart is our physical plane. And within that physical plane, there are going to be the astral plane, the mental plane, the spiritual plane. Okay? Within that physical plane, those are going to describe within them the different layers. So technically, you have 12 birth charts from the main. And those 12 charts break down deeper layers of your main birth chart. Once you kind of identify all of these and which areas and how they're manifesting in your life, you can now go to the deeper layer of these three. And each house, in astrology, there are 12 houses. So the 12 houses have 12 individual charts of themselves. And those represent the physical composition and the energies which are manifesting in these houses. But the prime essence is always going to be the observer, the jhana, and the karma. So what we're going to do, we're going to study how the physical birth chart first opens up to these charts. And then we can go deeper into the 12 charts, right? So it's going to be a brilliant, deep observation of how you can read your chart in a deeper way. So you're able to see how things are materializing slowly and seeing how you can adjust and make great change in your life. By simply understanding what your karma is, you can now adjust and see and feel why you react a certain way and where you can begin changing these things in your life today. Thank you for tuning in to our introduction to our astrological course. Feel free to download segments, the different segments on our website. If you have any questions, send me an email and I will answer whenever the time is right. Thank you so much. And feel free to leave the comments below if you have any information that you want to find out more about. The course is right below, which shows you the different layers of how to begin to resolve these faculties and learn more about yourself. Thank you so much. Peace.